I would like to introduce our third student speaker, Daria Coman from the George Kochbuk Internet Bilingual College, and she has a speech about neuroplasticity, that your brain can do anything.
What if I told you that the very essence of who we are, our thoughts, our abilities, and our potential is not set in stone? In fact, these are constantly changing and evolving, or declining. This is all thanks to a process that has fascinated neuroscientists for years. A process that still undergoes research. A process that has been defined quite recently. This process is called neuroplasticity. But what is neuroplasticity? Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to change and to remodel itself structurally after each life experience. So imagine your brain is like a big garden with lots of pathways. Each time we learn something new or practice a skill, a new pathway grows in that garden. So just like how plants need water and sunlight to grow and change, our brains need constant stimulation, constant engagement with an activity to grow and change as well. But why is neuroplasticity such an important topic in neuroscience? Well, neuroplasticity addresses a common misconception. Have you ever thought, oh, I'll never be good at this because my brain just wasn't built for it? Well, while genetics may play a role in deciding what things you are good at and deciding what things you learn faster, neuroplasticity allows for your brain to process any information. So, that math exercise you were struggling with earlier, you can understand it and tackle similar exercises once your brain has been trained to do so. And this goes for every situation in which you believe that your brain cannot adapt. Now, let's talk anatomy. The structure at the core of any process in the brain is the neuron. The neuron is a cell that works as a messenger throughout your whole body, not just the brain. But a single neuron cannot do all the work. It needs other neurons to communicate with each other. And they do this through signals in order to pass information back and forth. These signals are called synapses. And synapses are truly fascinating. The more you use that connection, the stronger that synapse becomes. And it's like a bridge between two neurons. The more you practice, the more you interact with that connection, the stronger that bridge becomes. But this process is called synaptic plasticity. And this process of synaptic plasticity is the reason why scientists have discovered something very interesting, that children learn things a lot faster than adults because their synaptic plasticity is a lot more accessible. And this means that they have these critical periods of learning in which we learn everything faster. So a child can learn anything faster than an adult because they have many more connections waiting to be used for a certain purpose, like learning an instrument or a language. After childhood, those connections start disappearing. And unfortunately, this function does decline over time. However, it doesn't stop there. We can still learn. This process of tuning away connections we don't use is called synaptic pruning. And this process of pruning was the reasons why scientists have believed for many years that the structure of the brain does remain fixed. It wasn't until the 1970s when scientists finally discovered the process, the concept of neuroplasticity, after more than 40 years of research. After that, they could finally focus on how to develop neuroplasticity. But neuroplasticity isn't only about practicing skills or learning new information. It is also about healing and memory. Take Jill Boltiger, a neuroanatomist. She suffered a severe stroke that left her unable to walk, talk, or even remember her own name. However, through intensive years of rehabilitation, Jill harnessed the power of neuroplasticity and realized that she can heal. And she did. She managed to regain her abilities, and she could finally walk, talk again. Her story inspires us to never give up and showcases the true power of neuroplasticity and how our brain can save it. So, how do we achieve neuroplasticity? The first step is very simple, and you hear this a lot. You need to have a growth mindset. You need to believe that your brain can change. And not because you want to comfort yourself when your brain just isn't working like you wish it would, but because it can change. It can evolve, and it is scientifically proven. You cannot deny these facts. View failures as opportunities to change. Embrace challenges and always persist in the face of setbacks. These are the key elements of having a growth mindset. The next step is stimulation, and this should be pretty obvious. Stimulation promotes neuroplasticity because you engage with your neural networks. Engage in activities such as reading thought-provoking books, participating in intellectual discussions and debates, because this can all broaden your perspectives and make you realize that complex ideas are needed in your life, because doing so can help save your brain. And the last rule of neuroplasticity, as I like to call it, is very simple, and I will explain it to you very short. It's overcoming, empower, and cultivate. Overcome limiting beliefs. Empower your brain to keep on going, and cultivate healthy habits in order to make healing easier when you perhaps will need it. So, after all, why was it so important to understand neuroplasticity? Because it dictates everything we do. Neuroplasticity, the brain's astonishing ability to change and adapt to every situation, holds the key to unlocking our best version of ourselves. It reminds us that we are not bound by limitations, and that we should break free from the shackles of self-doubt and societal expectations. It reminds us that we are not passive spectators watching our lives pass by, but active participants, and we can shape our destinies and what this anatomical structure is capable of doing. And I'll end my speech by asking you a question. Where would you be right now if your brain wasn't able to evolve according to your wishes? Thank you.